What's up, ladies and gentlemen? All the ladies and all the few gentlemen. I'm not the type of guy to stay with his arms crossed, you know? Especially not after all the shit that I've dealt with. I'm not just about to come to YouTube and have my moment of sunshine taken away from me. I'm not that type of guy. Like, that's not how I'm coming back. That's not the energy that I'm coming back. You know, like, you'll see my trolls, my detractors, whatever you want to call them, my haters, okay? Whatever you want to call them. I'm playing the victim. No, motherfucker. I'm standing up for myself. What the fuck about this is a victim? Hopefully you guys got to see my latest video. There was a segment in my video, probably like 4 to 5 minutes, where I talked about the person that hacked into my Twitter and how he screen recorded conversations, sent them to a bunch of streamers that had a bone to pick with me for whatever reason, you know. So this person didn't like being called out. I guess nowadays, you just have to file a privacy complaint on YouTube to take down a video. And YouTube apparently doesn't really have human reviewers or something because, I mean, if you guys remember my video that was literally just up yesterday, there was nothing violating anybody's privacy, right? This person already went ahead and sent a DM to Tipster trying to explain why he did what he did. So it's going to be pretty interesting to go over that and go over every single contradiction that he's had, okay? This person is a pathological liar. And Darcy, motherfucker, you could have just left this alone. You could have literally just left this alone. I would have never done this. I would have left you alone. You know, you could have just remained the annoying, lying, scummy hacker that went into my account, recorded my conversations like a disgusting, intrusive prick. You could have just remained that. I want to move on. But you have to take down my video? Really? So yeah, this guy decided to take down not only my video, but also Tommy C's video.
I received an email today that I had violated a privacy. Someone's privacy. Whose privacy? I don't know in the Edwin Generations video. And strangely enough, I could not appeal it.
Tommy C did a live stream where he reviewed some of my video. In my video, if you guys remember, I give a shout out to the DHS, Department of Homeboy Security. Wonderful people have been helping me catalog this shit because I couldn't do this alone. I can't take credit for this at all. Yes, Homeboy's got receipts, but also Homeboy now has a department of receipt backloggers. And we have a ton of receipts of this dude that creates numerous accounts to troll people. Which, you know, a lot of people probably do that. But this guy, this guy lies and lies and lies about it. He's so slippery. Like, why, bro? Just move on. When you get caught, why do you have to like, it wasn't me? Like, just stop harassing the same people. Like, I don't know, man. We're going to be going over this phone call that I had with this person. Actually, first off, let me start off with this sort of blackmail that I didn't include in the video. I decided, you know what, I don't need to include it. But this person that hacked into my Twitter account decided to sort of like hold this weird, threatening kind of blackmail message over my head, which is weird because I'm like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. You know, like, what? Do you think you're threatening me? Having all my DMs leaked and like all the harassment I received, like, how much worse could it get? I was already immune to everything, right? And this motherfucker thinks he can blackmail me? Like, what? Okay, let's check this out, guys. I know, this sounds silly, but I promise it is ridiculous. So he sends me a DM and he says, for the last fucking time, I did not hack your account. I told you multiple times in your live chat about the passwords. And by the way, this is really random because, like, again, I haven't been active on social media from late January until literally last week. This guy is coming into my DMs out of nowhere, super hostile, right? So this is weird. I sent the receipts. Aren't you lucky I haven't released a phone call where you bring up my underage sister? This mofo is like underhandedly like threatening me / like, it sounds like he's kind of blackmailing me. Like, I have this phone call we had and man, I wonder how much like his stomach or balls dropped, right? When he heard my video, when he heard his own voice in my video. Cause what, do you think I'm not gonna record a phone call that I'm like going into with a hacker? Of course I'm gonna record that shit myself. So he thinks that since obviously he recorded the call, he thought he's gonna like be able to like switch that narrative and like edit that in some weird creepy narrative where to make me look bad. No, motherfucker, I recorded that shit too, and we can go by minute by minute, second by second, because in one of the DMs to Tipster, by the way, he says something along the lines of like he made it sound like I played it out of context. So we can play every bit of context if that's what you want, Darcy. Okay? But yeah, he's like, bring on my underage sister. Keep that in mind. Aren't you lucky? Aren't I lucky? Am I lucky or are you lucky? Or maybe you're not lucky. Maybe neither of us are lucky because I'm gonna play the whole phone call. This guy's so funny. Isn't he so funny? He says, and the evidence of you going on my Facebook accounts and finding information and your little squad has harassed my family. What? Like, what is he talking about? There's evidence of me going on his Facebook accounts. Bear in mind, I deleted my Facebook in February, and my little squad. Is he talking about the DHS? How did he know about the DHS before the DHS existed, right? But nobody from the DHS harassed his family. So he's creating this conspiracy of like people harassed his family. This is the priceless part, guys, because remember, according to him, literally him, and like, you know, the dirty squad and all my trolls, they always say, Edwin plays the victim. Who's literally laying out the crumbs to be the ultimate victim? Me and my squad harassed your family? I'd love to see those receipts. I mean, on the real, if they're real, if they exist, if somebody related to me whatsoever, I will disavow that 100%. That. Don't go around harassing people's families. But also, don't accuse me of some bullshit if you're not going to back it up. Let's keep going. He says, anyone they could get a hold of, my cousins, my other relatives, some that don't even have social media. You created this based on a lie. No, I created this based on lots of receipts, which in the phone call, you said you completely understood how I came to my conclusions because there were so many fingers pointing at you. Oh, and you guys will see everything. You alone threw your fans a bone that was my safety. You act like the victim, but you are not the victim. You are a sick individual. And you're talking to a mirror because you're not the victim. You're a sick individual. Boom. There it goes. You know, everybody that, like the people that criticize me, I think they're talking to a mirror when they criticize me, you know? Criticize, by the way, because this is not criticism. Yes, by the way, I bully bullies. Darcy is 100% the person that feeds dirty information. And the reason why I know this is because Dirty is so clumsy that he often shows his desktop and I can literally see, like anybody can see the DMs that he receives. And a lot of them are literally from this guy. Oh my God. Okay, now it's not over. Ready? It's not over. One last one. Okay, so this is like, I think a week or two later. It was that like March something and now April. So about almost 2 weeks later, he says, so now my grandparents were doxxed. Your are actually disgusting. He says, falsely accusing prof hacking. I think he meant to say of hacking, but it's not falsely accusing because first of all, I didn't even accuse him at this time. I had not accused him of anything because again, I was silent. So this guy's trying to come from the future, huh? This guy's like, you accused me in the future? I'm accusing you now because yes, you did hack me and you admitted it. You admitted to it. We'll play the phone call where he admits to logging into my Twitter account. That's hacking. Hacking is when you go into somebody's account without consent, without their knowledge, dude. Just because you weren't the one to find out my password, like your story says, that doesn't mean that you didn't get into my account. Because you said you did. He says, I literally try to help you. This guy is an eternal victim. Oh my God, now I'm finding myself criticizing him like he criticized me. How ironic. So anyways, basically I need to show this context to show you guys the beginning, right? This is him literally threatening me and saying, you're lucky I didn't receive the release a phone call. I don't care. I'll release it then. I'll take that as consent for me playing it. Not that it matters because, you know, you're paying to talk to me. And also, fuck you. I'm exposing you. So apparently this is what he sent. This is what he showed Tipster that he sent to Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. Tom, whichever you go by. You know what I go by. It's right above my fucking head. All right? It's very clear. Have I ever said to you once, please call me Thomas, Jeff? No.
7 years, no.
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 My wife calls me Tommy. For fuck's sakes.
Regarding the privacy violation and YouTube's handling on it. Oh, so it's YouTube's fault, right? Firstly, I'd like to apologize if this caused stress, my ass, because it's certainly stressing even to me as a viewer of content. Oh, I'm so stressed out that I took down your content. I'm so sorry, Tommy. Oh my God, dude. See, like this guy, like, oh my God, I just can't believe this guy, like, has the balls, the audacity, right? The caucasity to say, I'm so sorry that your video came down, Tommy C. I'm so sorry I did that to you. I'm sorry. I got your email off Twitter, so I hope this is the right one. Based off of your reaction to Edwin's video, which is a lot of misinformation, firstly. Not that that matters now. You think I'm crazy. Oh my God, so I was right. Literally, he's so offended by his reaction to my video that that's why he decided to take down Tommy's video.
I think you're crazy. I think you're stupid. And I actually think you're trying to manipulate me into getting involved with another YouTuber that does not serve my attention.
That's not the case. But that's your opinion based on the information you've been presented. That's fair.
Well, let me go on, idiot. The information that you gave me in this string of emails, I'm absolutely sure you're crazy and stupid. Absolutely sure. That's fair. Thank you. I'm glad you think my opinion's fair. What's not fair is doxing my legal name, my face, my voice. I'm a private person. Now, your voice, fuck you. Your face, I don't know that I even did it. If it was in Edwin's video, that's fine. But you're talking to Edwin and you're involved in this drama. You're a private person. You'll see that that is not true going further. You are very much becoming more and more of a public person all the time.
Okay, so I doxed his legal name. We might as well update the like counter right now because I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys how I did not dox his legal name. If his legal name is literally his username, that doesn't make any sense, you know? Like if right now I show Rachel Sarah's username on screen, like if I show my chat on screen and she says I doxed her, I'm like, what the fuck? That's your fucking username on YouTube. You know what I mean? And also his Twitter and everything.
His fucking name! He said I doxed him, and his name is his fucking YouTube channel that he's replying to. And he's giving me examples. I can't comment on your videos. Why would you want to? I thought you were private!
So according to him, I doxed his legal name. His face. His face? You want to know how I doxed his face, by the way? I'll show you how I doxed his face by showing this. When I showed the example of him arguing with Nicholas Diorio and like backing himself up, I doxed his face by showing his icon and his legal name right there. That's me doxing his legal name. I guess I'm doing it again. I'm literally doxing him right now by showing his public Twitter name, guys. This is the type of person we're dealing with, guys. I was showing an example of how he backs himself up by using another alt. This broad stereotype is his alt. Okay, I'm sorry there's gonna be so much derailing in this live stream, but right now I have to show you evidence that broad stereotype is his alt. Okay. Oh, his voice. I also doxed his voice. Perfect. This is perfect. Are you guys ready for this shit? Ready? Check this out.
Darcy is actually the person who made our thumbnail.
Whoa.
Oh, is that Darcy?
Yeah, I'm trying to get
Darcy,
them a link.
thank you. Thank
Whoa.
you.
Hold on. Wait. This can't be real, guys. I'm very concerned. Someone needs to tell Darcy about this. This is on YouTube right now.
I'm going to quickly say it. On the 12th of December in Australian time, Nicholas Diorio put up a stream with like a smiley face or a winky face in the title. And about halfway through that stream, they were reacting to Repzion's take on Twitter about the documentary. Edwin said if Repzion is in the
Whoa. Do you guys see that name in the corner?
documentary, that would be bad.
Broad
Added
steep type.
bad optics.
That looks familiar. He literally called into Crow of Judgment's show to rant about me. Okay? This is the private person. I doxed his voice, guys. Guys, I doxed this guy's voice. This is the motherfucker that took down my video. I doxed his voice. And I'm showing proof right now that he's literally using alts to argue with Nick. Bro, this is the person that's accusing me of doxing his legal name that he uses as his display name on Twitter, and that I doxed his face that he uses on Twitter, and that I doxed his voice that he uses on Crow of Judgment's live stream to shit on me. Are you serious? This is what I'm dealing with, guys. And this is what YouTube thinks is, okay, no, Edwin is a bad guy, yeah. It gets worse, by the way. It gets worse.
Immediately after I made a video, the new way to striking videos or whatever the fuck I did, I got a bunch of privacy complaints, and I know they weren't legitimate because I didn't say, all I did was bitch. Like, I don't know what privacy, all I did was bitch about the fucking video. I didn't mention anybody's name that's already fucking public. All right. So I got this like immediately.
So he says, now I filed a basic privacy complaint, even effed up on the first one. All I did was put the timestamps where my privacy was violated according to YouTube's terms of service. Now I can show you guys the email that I received, and it has the entire segment about him hacking my account. The entire segment, which was about like 11 minutes, and I only talked about him in that part for about 3 to 4 minutes. So Tipster asked, how was your face, name, and voice featured in Tommy's stream? And he said, Tommy played Edwin's video, which contains all of those, which I also made a privacy complaint. He says, I don't have the time to watch the video as I'm at work. Can you remind me why your info was used in Edwin's video? As I said to Tommy, and most of his responses in the comment, YouTube is in the wrong. What? He's saying that YouTube is in the wrong?
I wrote back, you take my video down and use your real name and comment publicly? Nice! Unreal. Guess what he writes? I didn't take your video down. YouTube did. Fuck you! Fuck you, and Edwin's video went down too.
my face, my legal name, my voice. 1 second. Oh my god, this is so fun. I love seeing like how Tipster's getting frustrated at him because Darcy doesn't answer the question, and this is exactly what Darcy would do to me. He just doesn't answer questions directly. He's like, yo, why was it used? And he doesn't answer. On December 17th or 18th, there was a stream by Nick, now deleted due to copyright claim or something. No, Nick just deleted it. Tipster literally asked him, why was your name mentioned in Edwin's video? And this is what he's going off on, all right? Oh, this is not all the screenshots, darn it. There was one screenshot where Tipster was like, I don't need to know your life story. Can you just get to the point already? And then he keeps going. Then Edwin went live. I messaged Edwin's account as a hater, as Edwin partially mentions in the video, to get the password it was changed to. I received the password they changed it to 3 times, and all 3 times it was posted in the chat. He's like avoiding saying that he hacked into my account, or what does this even mean? Then why Edwin thinks I'm the hacker is because I didn't know the public Discord rules and responded to Crow's tweet with a screenshot of someone in the public Discord making a comment. I don't remember specifically, but Edwin has thought I was a hacker since. Now, he was literally trying to antagonize some drama between me and Crow of Judgment for whatever reason. So he like tweeted him a picture of something a user said in my Discord server and said, look, this is what someone in Edwin's server said. You know, it's like he's like kind of troll. Oh, I don't know Discord rules. So when I confronted him about that, he's like, that wasn't me. That was somebody that hacked my account. But now it was you. Okay, so we'll get to that part, okay? Basically just something to remember. Oh my god, I keep realizing, I just realized that I wasn't on camera and I'm making all these funny faces. And then Tipster says, so here's the problem. You wanted to be a private guy, but you inserted yourself into a situation involving public figures. Big mistake. You have no right to file a false privacy claim when you chose to insert yourself into this shit. That's your fault, no one else's. Damn, Tipster, you fucking said it right there. And Darcy literally pulls a fucking Fedmeister and fucking Pokimane. He's like, I'll be putting evidence into video form and Google Doc form. I didn't deliberately mean to waste your time. I was trying to help. Trying to help what? You fucked up big time telling me about this. I love that. Fucking hey, man. Tipster's fucking funny. My thoughts on all this? If this person wanted to stay private, then they should have never inserted themselves into a public matter. They brought this onto themselves, and now they want to take down videos discussing their involvement. That's not how any of this works. If you don't want to be discussed in regards to a public matter, then stay out of it. It's simple as that. It's annoying that like Tommy's stream also got taken down. Like not just me, but he also took down his. It sucks. Look, I'm so sick of talking about this shit. But like, dude, if you fuck with me like this and try to fucking play victim when literally saying that I play victim, no, I'm not gonna take that shit. But I wish I would be done with this bullshit, dude. Like I uploaded that video, I felt a huge sense of relief, and now this motherfucker wants to keep it going. I want to talk about the Gabby shit too. I finally want to put my 2 cents in, but damn it, I don't got the time. Sorry, guys. Like counter, 564. Yeah, I can't even have it there. You know what? There's no point. I can't be updating it every second. Because I told you guys that he's a troll. Like, he trolls people, and, you know, he's so private, yet he makes videos like this. He made a video called hashtag apologize to Gabby Hanna, hashtag Trisha Paytas, right? This is about 2 weeks ago. Okay, check this out.
So I'm on Blog TV with my hands up, as you can see.
Whoa! Is he doxing himself? Bro, are you doxing your face and your voice? Are you serious, dude?
And unfortunately, we have lying, manipulating Crips. You know, liar and liar and liar and liar, liar and liar and liar and liar. But do you recall the most famous manipulator of all? So what if you're all the monsters that
Beautiful
have been
song.
here all along? One after another, you never leave people alone.
Wow. Again, guys, this is a very public person, right? I mean, I'm private. Sorry, this is private. Obviously, a very private person. Because remember, again, as you can see, I'm not on my Twitter account. Who here knows my crypto Twitter account, by the way? Because again, I only follow crypto people, and I use this completely privately. I've never revealed who I am or whatever. I never told anybody. I don't have it linked anywhere. Does anybody know my Twitter account? Guess who does know my Twitter account? This crazy mother. He has me blocked on my crypto Twitter account. Weird. Anyways, all right, guys. Let's just listen to this phone call. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you're ready.
Sorry, I just want to say a few things before before you start talking, if that makes sense. I just want to address things that at least I want to say.
Okay, so just I don't mean to interrupt him here, but notice right now he just started talking about 15 seconds ago. He joined like a Google Meet, right? And I have not said a word. He just said, sorry, before you say anything, I just want to say a few things. So again, just keep in mind, there's no formal greeting. I haven't even gotten the chance to say hello. All right, but here he wants to begin a monologue.
Firstly, I'd like to apologise for what I said on Crow's live stream. I was having a very stressful day. It might not have been your fans, but it was people that were attacking me it was straight after I said stuff on your New Year's live stream, and I just felt really attacked. I went on Crow's stream and I was just very angry. I was very reactionary. And there was a couple of other streams that I was also quite reactionary on. I can't remember all of them. I was just in a very frustrating manner. One of my friends is actually still in your Discord. She's been there for a lot longer than I was, and Lily was. And they told me a lot of what was, because they were also a Patreon, and so they also told me what was going on. And I'd just like to say that I'm not the spy. I didn't say anything about Shiloh's miscarriages. I try to be the nicest person, but when people attack me, I feel attacked, and I react in a not so great way. In this situation, I'm not trying to be satirical or funny. There seem to be a lot of screenshots about like my comments on various other streams or various YouTube videos and so forth, and it's just one of those things that I was being attacked and I was reacting in a way that I shouldn't have, and I was just being kind of nasty, really. I don't remember claiming that you lied about being in the documentary. I don't remember that. There might be evidence that I did say that you lied, but I can't remember specifically. And when I was on Crow's stream, I was speaking about a stream that happened on the 12th of December, but I worked out that it wasn't the 12th because it had to have been on the 17th, my time, because that's when Repzion uploaded his Twitter video about the documentary and you guys were reacting to it at the time. And it was like just before then you said that you were making jokes about people's participation in the documentary, and that's like you said that in the live stream where I sort of called you out. And so over the course of that whole 8 or 10 hour live stream, I went on more of your side, but then when people attacked me in your name, that's where I felt attacked. And it just wasn't good on my mental health. And
he goes on for about another minute, guys, by the way. And again, I haven't said a word. But anyways, Darcy, I guess you're in the chat. Is that the actual Darcy? I mean, I'm sure, yeah, the only person to impersonate others is him. Well, actually, Colton, too. I literally don't know anybody that does kind of shit he does. Darcy, did you just get here? Have you? Why don't you just respond now? What's with the suspense? Why did you say I doxed your voice and your face? How did I dox your voice when it's readily available on Crow of Judgment's live stream? I didn't say you doxed my voice. Bro, oh my god. But guys, we're catching him lying on 4K right here. Are you serious? Guys, this is fucking funny. Are you serious? This guy can't help himself. I told you in my video, he's a pathological liar. This is so weird. Unbelievable. Let's pull up the screenshot one more time. What is not fair, doxing my legal name, my face, and my voice. Wait, didn't you just say in chat that hold on, I'm confused. You didn't say the word doxed about my voice? Why did you say your voice then? Why did you include your voice? So I didn't dox your face or your voice? Why are you mentioning your face and your voice then? So I guess I'll just keep playing the call while we wait for him to explain how his email is not accurate. Also, can we talk about how I doxed your legal name when you're literally chatting? You're chatting with your name.
I was just very reactionary in an aggressive way. And in regards to Papua New Guinea, I didn't fly there. I went there. It was a long process as to how I actually got there. People were saying, "Oh, how did you fly there?" I didn't fly there. I went through multiple health tests, multiple pieces of paper were signed, a long drive up to the Northern Territory, getting on a boat, and just to go to a funeral for a friend whose parents had passed away in a bus accident over there. And I lived with them while I was in Papua New Guinea for a year, and they became part of my family. So it felt, if I didn't go there, I'd feel bad. And so that's at least all the points I have that I think I needed to address before you started talking. If you have any questions, queries, or doubtful points, now would be the time to ask if you have any.
Oh my god, thank you for that 5-minute monologue and giving me permission to raise my hand now. Dude, when Tipster said to him in his DM, like, bro, I don't have time to, like, listen to your life story, I felt that, dude. For some reason, every single time this guy talks, he has the need to give his life story. Like, what was that at the end? He started talking about traveling, like, and he felt bad about like taking a ferry or something. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Look, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what the last part was about. And also, I mean, the first ever interaction I recall having with you was when you said that I lied, and I mentioned it several times, like multiple streams, that I was stood against a documentary, and that's when I remember I was like, no, I didn't. That's not true. I was like, well, there's plenty of receipts. You should be able to pull one up. I remember quizzing you on that, and then I think I brought it up another time, and I guess I don't know if that's how you felt harassed or what, but like.
No, it wasn't you that was harassing me. It was people in your, like they were saying, I came from Edwin's stream.
He literally says, yo, that people harass him saying that, yo, I came from Edwin and I'm here to harass you. Literally? Okay, pull up a receipt. I mean, look, honestly, like, I don't encourage this, guys, please. Like, yes, we're making fun jokes right now, but please do not harass him like at all, okay? Don't target this motherfucker, okay? Because then he's gonna really be able to play that victim card. But before, like, this week, who the hell knew who he was, like, really, right? Nobody harassed him in my name. That sounds fucking ridiculous. Literally, nobody knew what the he was doing to me this entire time. Nobody knew. Guys, this is only a taste of all the bullshit he's been fucking doing to me. And he's got the balls to say, I didn't say you doxed my voice. While the fucking the email's on screen. Yeah, you better run like Ann after that one, bro.
Blah, 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 blah. They may not have been fans of you. They may have been fans of someone else. But they were attacking me under your name, if that makes sense. So they were saying, I'm from this stream. I'm going to say these things about you.
I'm from this stream, Edwin's stream, and I'm gonna say these things about you. You couldn't even make up a lie on the spot. Yeah, people were harassing me and saying they were gonna say these things about me.
And so long and so forth. I can't bring up the receipts because Nick's got it privated. Like
I got him to list it, so I can review everything, and I remember perfectly. And I mean, I can get timestamps and stuff. Like, I remember that.
I'm sorry, I just have to laugh. Darcy Evans in the chat says, I have more receipts than Edwin has. Stop. You're literally role-playing an 8th grader. Stop it. Alright, what's up? Editor Edwin here. Now, you remember how he said that he wasn't sure if it was Edwin fans or whatever who was attacking him, and he didn't have receipts because it happened blah 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 blah. Well, just as he said in this live stream, apparently he has a lot more receipts than I do, and what do you know, he happened to find the receipts in which my fans that may not have been my fans attacked him in, and you will not believe how ridiculously fake these look. Now, the reason why I know about this is because, of course, he went running to Mr. Dirty, because everything that Dirty presents, or at least a lot of it, comes from this Darcy person. He feeds him everything. And he's like, look how Edwin's fans were harassing me. Guys, literally pause and look at these. Read these. These aren't real accounts. You can freaking look these up yourself. These aren't real accounts. This dude made fake ass accounts. And the sad part, again, like, I don't care. Dirty has like a few brain cells or something, but he believed this. He believed that Darcy is a victim of my fans because he really believes these are real harassing messages. And he's had Darcy modded on his show for months, He has no issue with Darcy's actions. I mean, he did at one point when he was DMing with me and he thought that the hacker was bad. There was a moment of kindness with Dirty where he sent me like a bunch of the DMs that Darcy had recorded from my Twitter. Anyways, let's go back to the stream now. Don't type in chat until you can address this. You said that you didn't say I doxed your voice, but the email says otherwise. Can you explain this? If you can't explain that, then quit being a little crybaby bitch boy. You said I doxed your legal name, but that's literally your username. What did you tell YouTube? I'm really curious as to how you just were able to take down me and Tommy's videos because you couldn't handle me criticizing the fact that you recorded my conversations on my Twitter account. Like how ironic, how ironic is it that somebody gets to violate my privacy by going to my account, recording my conversations, and I'm the one that gets to violate their privacy for outing that detail. Gotta love it, man. Gotta fucking love it. But that literally wasn't me. What do you mean? The email's on the screen, dude. The email's on the screen. Are you kidding me? Are you now saying that the email's not on screen? Listen, Darcy, literally don't answer to anything that I'm saying. I hate when people do this. I hate when people fucking cut corners and avoid the question at hand because they find one that they think is easier to answer, right? Okay, let's pretend that you weren't the person that recorded my conversations, even though I have so much conclusive evidence of saying so. Okay, forget about that. Why don't you answer to this email that you literally wrote today where you said that I doxed your voice and your face and your legal name? Why don't you answer to that first? Okay, we can start from the present and then we can work our way backwards. But right now, how did I dox your face, your legal name, and your voice? That's where we want to go right now. It was 4 a.m. when you're writing this. Okay. So are you saying that I didn't dox your legal name, face, and voice, or what? Where's it going? Because I'm a private person, not a public fighter, and you made it more public? Yes, my name is Elsewhere. I literally just fucking had your username that you have on your fucking Twitter. All your social medias are Darcy Evans, dude. You know what, Darcy? You hope I edit out your sibling's name. I hope you redact your privacy claim. Oh, okay. You want to fucking go there because in this video, and I mean in this phone call, you don't have a sister. You tell me that you don't have a sister. Are you lying now or are you lying then? Oh my God, I can't wait for us to get there. So are you gonna redact the privacy claim or are we gonna get there? I think we're gonna get there. Oh guys, oh man, this motherfucker with the wrong guy.
What you had said was this: Edwin is a hypocrite. Yes. End of discussion. Edwin has literally said he wouldn't go on it. End of story. He literally said he wouldn't do it. Yes, in 5 streams, 3 of which are on his Patreon.
Wow, Darcy's getting red. Right now I'm reading him receipts and watch him be like, that wasn't me. That was somebody else getting on a computer and type that.
Not mad, just disappointed. Happy to find the clips. Easy, done. No worries. He's done it. It'd be worse than a moral sellout. Regardless of whether it was about Chris or James, Edwin has said more than once that he's going on it.
So, by the way, guys, again, the context here, I know it's been a little bit... basically, he was on Nicholas Dior's stream and he was saying all this stuff that I was a moral sellout, that whatever, blah, blah. And notice, who calls Onision James? Only Onision stands do that, right? This guy was very pro Onision, I've learned to find out. Yeah, you used to be in little Onision voice chats, and apparently Onision and his server used to be like, all right, guys, so what are the drama channels saying about me now? You know, because he doesn't like to watch videos that are made about him. And this guy used to be one of the people reporting on them. He would report on my videos to his daddy Onision. So, of course, it all fucking goes back to Onision. Darcy says, this chat is pretty disgusting. You know what is pretty disgusting? You taking down my video, dude. Darcy said he'll retract his privacy complaint. Yes, do it. I'm not gonna, look, I'm not planning on even putting anything to do with your sibling. I was just really fucking hyped. Look, I'm feeding off of your energy that's like, so like contrarian. Like you're literally lying to the chat, entire chat, dude. Hundreds of people are witnessing you lying, and I'm like, you really want to play this game? I mean, the whole sibling part doesn't come for another like 30 minutes or so probably, because you really me, dude. You have no idea the shit that you put me through, man. Like on the real, I've had such a bad past 5 months. Like on the real, I don't want to fucking start talking about it and get all fucking emo and shit, but like I'm not gonna come on YouTube and like get stepped on anymore, you know? Because then that just apparently that just gives ammo to the people that go, Edwin playing victim. You actually being one of the people who say Edwin just acts like a victim. Yeah, because I show an emotional side, but I'm done taking shit from people. Like over what, dude? It's fucking unfair. What I've fucking been through is fucking unfair. It's not normal. It's not right to hack into people's accounts, go through private shit, and humiliate them like that. All right? What I'm doing right now is nothing compared to what the fuck you did to me. So just keep that in mind. I'm only exposing you because you decided to fuck over my video of me like coming back and feeling confident again. You try to fuck up my moment, dude. Don't fuck with my moment. Whew. All right. There you go. I can prove I didn't hack you. Look. You can't prove that you didn't lie about this. If you want to have a serious conversation, then do it without being dishonest about the reasons of taking down my video. Then we can talk. But right now you're lying through your teeth. And I mean, in this phone call, we're going to go over the part where you literally say that you went into my Twitter account. Going into someone's Twitter account without permission is hacking. Do we need to look up the definition?
Great job timing me out, but 3 of his streams are on your Patreon, so I'll share the clips. I'm talking about them timing me out. If it is when I was responding to Edwin. And you know, these are all things you said. So you know, you deny it to my face, but that's just how it is.
I said before that, literally a few minutes before that, I may have said that you lied, but I don't remember, if that makes sense. Like I'm happy to go back and look at my own comments.
You also told me that when you were asking for juicy DMs, that you were hacked, and then in the Patreon DMs, you told me that you weren't actually hacked. And you did say that, but you were hacked after.
So there was a whole. So in between a certain date and another certain date, people were on my Twitter and removing things from my Twitter, and not just my personal Twitter, but my other public Twitter. And I didn't know who it was or when they were there, or all these different types of things that were happening around the same time. So I was hacked, but I actually did ask for the password. I asked for the password.
Okay, notice it was a very simple question. He DM'd my account asking for any more juicy DMs. And I asked him about it, and he said, no, that wasn't me. And then he starts going off on this story time that is kind of irrelevant.
I don't know who asked for juicy DMs. I haven't seen that message come from my account.
He doesn't know who asked for juicy DMs, okay? Listen to that. He said, I don't know who asked for juicy DMs.
I don't know who that was.
You
and
told me in the
that's a
Patreon
concern.
message that you asked for juicy DMs. And it's too much work to pull up the Patreon messages, but on Patreon, he told me that he did ask for juicy DMs. But right now, he's saying that he did not, okay? So pay attention. He's saying, I didn't ask for juicy DMs. I don't know who did that. But it doesn't matter that if I pull up the Patreon messages or not, because right now, in just a few seconds, he will admit that he did ask for the juicy DMs. Spoiler alert. Let me see.
Bear with me.
Bear with me. Let me get my story straight.
But there was one message where someone had said that I said something that I didn't. I did ask for DMs in general.
You said you were logged out. The first question that I had asked was something about juicy DMs to get their attention.
There was another one that someone accused me of asking later on something about specific people's DMs or something. But I did ask for juicy DMs to get their attention, and
okay, you guys catch that?
That's when you can even go to that. Did ask for juicy DMs.
I did ask for juicy DMs. Now let's go back to that part where he didn't ask for juicy DMs.
I asked for the password. I don't know who asked for juicy DMs.
I don't know who asked for juicy DMs. And again, his story is that he asked for the password for my Twitter, and he got into my account. But in the chat, he says that he didn't hack into my account. So it's kind of crazy that he's saying that he never hacked into my account, but he also in the call, he says that his words are saying that he asked for my password and got to my account. See, and then when I quote him, you told me this earlier in the chat, in the messages, that you asked for juicy DMs. I confront him, and then he eventually, after a weird mumbling story, he eventually says, I did ask for juicy DMs.
But I did ask for juicy DMs to get their attention, and
okay, he did ask for juicy DMs to get their attention. Okay, so in the chat he says, I did enter, but I didn't hack your account. So you entered my account, but you didn't hack into it? We really gonna have to do the whole dictionary, bro. You're gonna have to do oh my god. Hacking, the gaining of unauthorized access to data in a system or a computer. Bro, did I give you permission to get into my Twitter account? Did I even know you were my Twitter account? Because I didn't. No, I didn't. You were actually trying to help, but I twisted it. He said it'll be easier to address this in video form. All I wanted was my information blurred, not for your video to go down. Dude, you literally claimed the entire section on the hacking, guys. I'm going to show you my email. And you literally said to me in Tommy's chat, you typed to me, I hope you enjoy your privacy claims. You said that. And now you're saying, well, I just wanted you to blur out a few parts. Then why didn't you claim those specific parts? I'm going to show you, because this guy filed 2 privacy complaints. I have no idea how they went through. It's actually ridiculous. He said that 6 minutes and 14 seconds to 14 minutes and 30 seconds, right? That's the first one. In the second email, he was like, you know what? No, that's not enough. That's not enough of the video. Actually, the second privacy claim, 6 minutes and 8 seconds and 17 minutes and 12 seconds. Suddenly, he thinks I talked about him for 11 minutes. You want to fact check real quick? The part that I'm actually talking about you is roughly 3 minutes. So you actually did this very dishonestly. This is so frustrating, dude, dealing with a person that's so dishonest. Also, I just want to let you know, dude, you watched the wrong crowd to play victim, you know? I mean, you like to like bully people on Twitter and shit. You like to bully Trisha Paytas and all these T channels and shit. You like to bully Ribzilla and like me, obviously. But you're in the wrong fucking community to start playing victim if you're gonna be bullying people. I'm just letting you know.
You can go to that your other streams where I put that password that they gave me in the comments. I've said that it was like Mars Argo stands or Mars Argo stands.
Right. Yeah, you told me in the messages as well.
And
but so you just said that you didn't ask for juicy DMs, but now you're saying that, well, yes, you did.
Well, I don't have. So, if I go to my Twitter, I don't actually have. Like I said, in that time, people were on my account without me actually knowing, and so forth. And I had no idea what was going on. and my own messages were disappearing, and my own tweets were disappearing, like not just public ones, as in like ones on my private Twitter, which I have linked to a completely different Google account, and so that was really concerning. And so if I go into my messages with your Edwin Costa Twitter, there's only like a few where it says something in regards to hang on, I'm going to go look just so I know specifically what I'm talking about. Just bear with me, sorry.
And who
Okay.
did you say are your
Fast forward.
friends? Who's Lily and who the other person is on my Discord server?
I don't want to give out the name of the person that's in your Discord server because they're a private person and I don't think it's appropriate. But
Then you sent me this profile of a person that's been logging everything. You say in this phone call you don't have a sibling. Retract your fucking privacy complaint from both me and Tommy's channels. You don't get to make demands here, dude. Let me give you one more chance to be honest with me. Is your sister underage like you threatened me in that Instagram? Be honest and think about this. Think about this. Think about what you're about to say. Because I don't want to have to fucking prove you're wrong, motherfucker. Okay? So be honest. Is she actually underage, or were you trying to make me look like a creep for no fucking reason? When in this phone call, I didn't even say anything about it. I never even said anything about the age. I just referenced the person, and you said she wasn't your sister. That was the entire conversation, and I can play that. But first, you have to confess. Is she underage or not? Let's see if you lie or not. Let's see if you're about to lie to me. Oh, motherfucker. Let's see. Let's see if you really think she's still underage. Is she still underage? She was underage at the time of what? In January when we spoke? What? Wait, what? Aren't you lucky I haven't released a phone call where you bring up my underage sister? Does that sound past tense to you? Is that past tense? Bro, you're killing your credibility. You're killing your credibility. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, by the way. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the stream. I know it's like it's very personal, and like I'm so sick of dealing with this shit. Like, guys, I've been dealing with this. Nobody's known, and like it's just been so frustrating to like, not be able to talk about this because it's so unrelatable. Literally nobody can relate to what I'm going through or what I've been going through. Nobody. I had it bottled up inside, and I felt fine after my new video. I felt fine. I was like, you know what? I don't need to talk about this Darcy guy. Whatever, he can just troll every now and then, whatever, I can forget about it. And then he took down my video. So I'm like, you know what? No, this is not how I'm coming back to YouTube. I'm not coming back to YouTube like this. She was underage at the time of the call. So you're saying she was underage in January. So she was underage in January? She was underage in March 29th too? Even though your TikTok wished her a 20th birthday, dude? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to me? You had to lie to me. You had to lie. Why, bro? You wish her 20th birthday, bro. No, I'm not gonna show a TikTok. I don't care to show a TikTok. He deleted that TikTok right after the phone call. That's the clever part. But guess what? I already talked to her. We talked. We're cool. It's not weird because she's not underage. She's 20 years old, dude. Oh my god, dude. Do you talk to your sister? Are you connected to your sister, bro? Are you guys even close? Does she know what you do online all day? Fuck, everything's falling. Oh, dude, this is the ending of Saw for you, dude. All the clues are coming together. Edwin knew all along? I was trolling? Damn, dude, he just fucking said it in the chat. He says he's not close to his sister. Damn, dude. This is really Saw, huh? You need to sort some shit out in your life, dude. Because the way you just compulsively lie is seriously disturbing. It's concerning, like you say. Wait, Darcy, really? Really, Darcy? After being jigsawed, you're gonna type in chat, yeah, I'd be very wary of a copywriter. Dude, are you okay? What the hell, dude? This guy's serious? What the fuck is going on, man? I cannot emphasize enough just how much of a liar this creep is. I mean, he lied about his TikTok, he lied about his sister not being his sister, and he lied about her being underage. Obviously to attempt to create a sinister narrative about me. So I flipped it on him. I said, oh no, I actually do talk to her. My point is, he went ahead and cried to Dirty. Again, this is the guy I said, I don't know who Dirty is. He said this on Tommy C's live stream when Tommy C was going over my video. Yeah, he said he didn't know who Dirty was, even though he's been a mod in his chat for months. Two peas in a pod, both extremely dishonest liars. I feel like I played 4D chess with this guy's head, Like, he tried to make me seem like a creep. even though he doesn't even talk to his sister. And he actually messaged her, like, hey, do you know this guy? If I can't have a conversation one-on-one with them, then I'm gonna have to delete the whole server alone. I mean, I can't have everybody else compromise for, you know, somebody that just because you don't want to let me know to corroborate your story. Like, I thought that would be interesting to you. I mean, I'm not trying to harass anybody. I'm not trying to publicize. Have you seen me publicize any of this, you know? All right, so basically, he was saying that he had a friend in the Discord server that could corroborate his story, right? He had, like, all this and that. And I'm like, but he didn't want to tell me because they were a private person. Sounds very familiar. Just like he's also a private person. Yeah. He didn't want, I'm like, wait, so you don't want to tell me who this person on my Discord server is that could literally corroborate your story? That's weird. Like, he's like, yeah, I don't want to receive any harassment. I'm like, why would they receive harassment? I just want to, like, ask them for, like, you know, to corroborate your story. That's it.
No, I completely get from where you're standing, but they're also in other things that people might go, oh, that's a bit dodgy of them or so forth, and I don't want to. That's not my place. If they want to come forward, that's perfectly fine. Like,
so the interesting part here is that he doesn't want to give out their username because they're in other servers and they said some things that other people might find dodgy. Now, interesting enough, if you search Darcy's username in other Discord servers, he's definitely has a huge catalog of saying very dodgy things. This guy's chaotic everything. Well, technically speaking, I could easily go through my Patreons and just figure it out. But if you know, because it shouldn't be a problem too. If they're a fan, I don't know why I can't have a one-on-one conversation.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I don't want to out. Well, it's not outing. It's not. It's one of those things where I don't want to say something that not my place to say. Like, they're Patreons and members of various different servers,
right,
to my knowledge, and some of the servers contradict each other. And that's why I don't think it's my place. Sorry, I'm fucking fuck.
See that? Some of the servers contradict each other. I think you're talking about yourself. Because you are in servers that contradict each other. You were supportive of Onision, you're supportive of Arsene.
But yeah, like apart from the other person that's in your Discord, Lily's been my friend for 20 odd years, and we share a bunch of accounts. Like, not just, and like sometimes she's on one account, sometimes I'm on one account. We always let people know who they're speaking to, and I didn't know that was something that was wrong.
So, are you guys understand what's happening? Suddenly, he started crying to me, like a child that took a cookie from the cookie jar when he shouldn't have done that. He says that his friend Lily was actually using his account because they share it, and he was doing the bad things on my server. It wasn't him, it was Lily. And he didn't know that it was wrong to share a Discord account. So at this point in time, I'm like, wait, what? Did this dude really just start crying? What? It's extremely confusing. I'm like, what? Say what?
But in regards to what I have in my tweets, like, the only messages I have, DMs I have to your account is that haven't been deleted. I sent a screenshot of all the people I'd spoken, I said in a message, and I don't know where the other messages have gone, but this is the only, there's 3 messages. All messages in the last 2 days have been removed, so I don't know what happened. And then I sent a screenshot of my last conversations with people, and then I say, if it's the real Edwin and not the account hacker, I have no idea who messaged from this account. I'm glad you have your account back, though. And that was sent on my time on the
You sent me that, correct?
Yes, I sent those 3 messages.
And then you blocked me.
Well, yes, because I genuinely wasn't sure if the hacker was back in or lying or so forth.
Consequently, shortly after, you posted a screenshot from my Discord server of a user from my Discord server, The Academic.
Again.
Oh, okay. This is good. Ready? This is good. Shortly after, and you tweeted at Crow.
But that's what I addressed at the start of the conversation. That was not that they were accusing me of spying, and that was not me.
Okay, do you guys get that? In when he was in my server, and even early in this chat, he said he wasn't spying, right? But I called him out for, like, yo, it really seems like it's you, because one of the examples was his Twitter account posted a screenshot from my server trying to instigate shit with a Crow of Judgment, saying this was sent to me, right? And right here, he's saying it wasn't him, right? So pay attention to that. He says that he didn't post that, even though this is his account. Okay, check this out. So now the funny part here, he told Tipster that he did this. This second message right here, it says, then why Edwin thinks I'm a hacker is because I didn't know the public Discord rules and responded to Crow's tweet with a screenshot of someone in a public Discord making a comment. Also, by the way, my Discord is not public. It's actually private. Notice how I don't give out my Discord link in my live streams, and I haven't for very many months. Did you guys just hear him in the call deny that? And now he's confessing it so many months later? Bro, why? Let me play that again. Let me play it again in the phone call. You posted a screenshot from my Discord server of a user from my Discord server, The Academic. And you
Again,
tweeted at Crow.
But that's what I addressed at the start of the conversation. That was not that they were accusing me of spying, and that was not me. And
But that was
that's
your
the
account?
whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing with the person or group that was in my account. I didn't know was there.
But okay, so yeah, that's what I. But you guys see what I mean in my video? If you guys remember my video, I hate to reference my video that's been taken the fuck down. But in my video, I said that he starts making this weird voice change when he's very obviously lying. So you know he's very obviously lying right here. He's saying that it wasn't him, that it was a group of people or a person that goes into his account and does this. Even though we have a damn receipt right here showing that he said, Edwin thinks I'm the hacker because I didn't know the public Discord rules. Notice I keep saying public. Oh, my Discord gets to stay public, but he gets to stay private. I responded to Crow's tweet with a screenshot. Wow. This is weird. And Darcy says, well, I'm off to work. Yeah, I'm off to work. More trolling, huh? Hey, Darcy, so did you ever answer that question? Before you go, did you ever answer the question of, do you run an account called Edwin is a liar or something like that? Because I'm just curious. I know the answer is yes, you do have this account. But let's see if you're going to say yes or no. I understood. You told me that someone was in your account after I was hacked. That's what you told me in your Patreon messages. So
It wasn't just after. It's been like the last 6 years.
Hey, I got to give him props though. He did admit that he posted the screenshot. So that's the first lie he actually admitted to. Because remember, in this phone call right now, he said that somebody else was in his account. But in the chat earlier, he said that it was him. Listen to the way he lies. Ready?
He was spying, and started the conversation. That was not that they were accusing me of spying, and that was not me. And
But that was
that's
your
the
account?
whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing with the person or group that was in my account. I didn't know was there.
But okay, so yeah, that's what I understood. You told me that someone was in your account after I was hacked. That's what you told me in your Patreon messages. So
It wasn't just after. It's been like the last 6 years that they're able to act. I don't know how they're doing it.
is there any way you can like send me like screenshots of when Google usually messages you saying like suspicious activity?
That's the problem. That's how I don't see. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've tried changing different. I think it has something to do with my computer possibly being hacked, so they can see the passwords, and then possibly living in the same area code that I do.
Dude, this dude is about to full on barf. He's lying so hard. He's like about to fucking barf into my ear.
But I do have some, and I'll send you some screenshots. Oh, I don't know how. Fuck.
I think you can do it here.
Fuck. Actually, no. I'll email you some. Do you still use your Edwin's Generations email address?
Yes.
So I'll be able to email you some screenshots of time that it has said I was hacked, but sometimes I'm not notified or anything because it's happened several times before, and sometimes they've never emailed me. Sometimes they do because it comes from Melbourne. Sometimes they do because it comes from Adelaide. But 9 times out of 10, they haven't notified me, and I've only known because they've removed messages.
If it's not worse, it's just as bad as Shannon's story. You can't just say you've been hacked for 6 years, okay? And you can't have one fucking receipt? You can't have one fucking receipt of all this harassment and all this... Dude, this is what I mean. This is why I found it so, like, cringe when he was literally, like, trolling Shannon. He switches his YouTube accounts so much. Okay, like right now he has 2 YouTube names that we know of course. He could have more, but one of his YouTube names is right now is Darcy, and then the other one is called right now Ed Cringe is a liar or whatever, you know, that one. And then before, at one point, it was called Amy Not Shannon. So it's funny that he makes fun of Shannon when he's literally a fucking spitting image. But at least Shannon was good at hiding it? This guy fucking sucks, dude. Okay, back to the call. Guys, okay, by the way, guys, I'm 20 minutes into this hour and 30-minute call. Like, this is literally... There's a lot of, like, parts where he just goes off on tangents that don't make any sense. Okay, here we go. This is the part I want to show you. Okay, because remember in my video I said that he claimed that when he was in my account, messages were suddenly disappearing, right? Well, here's the part where he says that.
And messages were disappearing before, like, before I was locked out. They were just disappearing, like someone was deleting them, like, out of nowhere. They were going, like, there was no tomorrow.
So again, he was in my Twitter account, just looking at my DMs, and all of a sudden he saw them being swiped away. That doesn't happen. I'm sorry, but that doesn't happen. That's bullshit. Look, log into your Twitter account on your phone, and then also log into your Twitter account and your sister or your friend's phone, and then delete a DM and look at it on the other phone. You'll notice that shit doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. But you know what? You know the funny part is that he didn't realize how this actually made him look worse. Is because in one of the screen recordings of his, because it has Australian time zone and it had notification that has his username, you literally see him swiping messages away. So he was literally just burying himself even further. And wait, but how did you get this screenshot specifically?
So it was the second time I logged in with the Marzo Stands password. That person had sent 3 because I'd logged in and had sat my phone down and then went onto the computer, which is where I was watching the live stream. I'd put the thing in chat, and then I noticed notifications like from that Benji person on my own phone. When I just looked at the screen, I saw
much
that one.
boring.
And because the other ones had been similar, but I didn't grab the notifications.
Like, what are these words?
Because those had been like similar, and that one had just came in. I screenshotted that, and then as soon as I screenshotted it, I was locked out of the account.
Oh, okay. It's very clever, by the way. He says he got a screenshot, and when he sent it to me, it's very funny because the screenshot was actually cropped. I could actually match it to the screen recording. So, like, this is the one good thing Dirty did, okay? Because, like I said in my video, when I first DM'd him in January about, like, you know, well, he DM'd me first, and then I replied to him, and he was being, like, really shitty. Eventually, he was nice, and he actually, like, told me all the DMs that he was sent by, not Darcy. He sent me a bunch. It's like, it's so many random DMs. Like, my DMs were like Anthony Padilla and like Sarah and all these random DMs. And like Nicholas Diori and like all these, so many DMs. It's so uncomfortable. Like, from top to fucking bottom, dude. The funny part is that one of the DMs, you literally see him swiping away. It's so funny because the screenshot that he sent me as proof, I can match it to the screen recording. And it's just so ridiculous. Ethereum is down $1,700.
That's not much was really any people.
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't just start thinking, like, because when people were helping my server, as you've seen, like, it's not like people were trying to harass or speculate. Nobody was even saying anything like Darcy was the worst. There's just quite a few clues that seem to align with your name, right? You know, Darcy Evans. So, like,
yeah,
you know, I guess I was curious because you said you share an account with the Lily person, right?
Yeah, so since that situation, we actually don't share as many accounts. We do share some like Spotify, some like Netflix, but apart from that, we've actually stopped sharing as many social media.
Okay, so you don't share the account that you came into my Discord with?
Not anymore.
Okay.
After that whole debacle, it really stressed Lily out. It stressed myself out. And so we decided that this was the right way to go. She now has her own Discord. What she does with it, it's her own thing. She's an adult. She can do what she wants.
So, do you guys see? Okay, again, the recap. So, again, he said that he shared this Discord with a person named Lily, right? After I called him out for posting on his Twitter a screenshot from my Discord and saying, you know, what the fuck is this? He's like, that wasn't me. You called me a spy. That wasn't me. Why would you say that? That was somebody that hacked into my account. which, by the way, months later, he's now confessing that it actually was him. Part of that now led him to stop sharing his account with Lily because she's an adult. She can do what she wants. Dude, I'm sorry, but Lily sounds like a made-up person. Her Discord is not what yours is, right?
No, not anymore. She doesn't use her name on almost anything. It's just this email. Probably this email is probably the closest thing you'll come to seeing her name, because we used Patreon sort of together, which I don't know if that's not.
Okay, I'm getting bored, but we can get to the sister part. Wait, do we have the screenshot where he says I dox his grandparents, his dead grandfather? Because that's the one I also want to... Actually, that's the biggest one I want to do. He said that I did that because I mentioned the username of his TikTok, which he claims is not his, even though it's the same TikTok that wishes his sister happy birthday, okay? And somehow deleted that TikTok right after the phone call. Okay, maybe it's not him, though. Maybe the person that uses that TikTok just knew. I don't know. How can you dox a dead person? I don't fucking know. Who is Jersey Stefan then?
I don't know.
You don't know who Jersey Stefan is?
I don't, unfortunately.
I thought that was someone correlated to you.
I don't know how. I've never heard of them before.
You guys remember how I said in the video that the way that I really kind of pinned it that it was this guy was because I figured out his TikTok. One of the screen recordings that he was doing, he had a notification. That's where he f***ed up. He should have turned off his notifications while screen recording my private conversations. But he got a notification saying, "Hi, Jersey Stefan. Nicholas Diorio's dad uploaded a new TikTok." For some reason, he subscribed to Nicholas Diorio's dad on TikTok. I mean, are we surprised though, right? So I got that. So that name clicked with me because that's also like a name that that also subscribed to my Patreon. He subscribed to my Patreon on 3 different emails. The TikTok had his face on it. It's like, oh, this is the motherfucker. So when I bring it up on the phone call, he says that he's never heard the name ever in his life. Yet now, present day, it turns out that I doxed his dead grandfather and that's his name. So really fucking weird story. You know, from the screen recordings, it just says, hey, you know, Jersey Stefan is recording this. And what do you know? That's, you also aligned with your aliases. And then I'm also seeing Court Hello, which is aligned with your Twitter alias, you know. There's just a lot. And I feel like if this is happening to you for 6 years, it should be easy to account for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I was hacked, my account had, like, well, not hacked. When people were in my account.
Do you notice this, by the way? When I was hacked, well, not hacked, when people were in my account, he's very clever about the way he words this because he doesn't want to be known as a hacker. Because if he says that people hacked into his account, that would mean that he is also a hacker because he hacked into my account. That's why he corrects himself. I'm going to make a prediction here, guys. Because again, I know that Darcy has a channel called Ed Cringe Lies. Or let me pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up on screen. This is one of his channels, right? So I have a prediction that he's gonna change this username before 24 hours is over. We'll see if I'm right, because he changes usernames several times per week. So this is Jersey Stefan, you know, one of the Darcy Twitters that he's had since 2007. He's had this account called Jersey Stefan since 2007. Right? And he wants you to believe that it is me doxing his dead grandfather, even though I just reiterated a bunch of accounts. Because again, guys, it is not just one account. It is not just a TikTok that pointed towards Darcy. I found shit like this. There's dozens more examples that point to Darcy, okay? This motherfucker may switch outs like crazy, but we got the Wayback Machine. We got dozens of examples. And guess what? You are Darcy. You doxed your grandfather, not me. Your dead grandfather. I don't believe that short story one bit. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Guys, are you kidding me right now? Ed Cringe is a liar. We see you, girl. Just typed in the chat. Hate to break it to you, but I'm not Darcy. I did, however, get access to this account in March. How convenient, okay? Now listen to here, motherfuckers, okay? Listen here. Remember how I told you what to look for when you're looking at those conversations with the hacker? For the life of him, Darcy cannot break this habit of typing. It feels like I'm being trolled. Like, this doesn't feel real. Like, I just can't understand. I can't understand how this is real life. Like, he really thinks that we're all stupid here? Hate to break it to you, but I'm not Darcy. Space period. I did, however, get access to his account in March. Just like what Darcy was saying on the phone, somebody else goes in his account. Wow. Wow. So you're not Darcy? Who are you then? If you're not Darcy, who the fuck are you? Why are you in Darcy's account? RSN says, your hacker was sending anything you said about anyone. They sent me a DM of you telling people that I was on registry. That hurt my heart. Well, listen, RSN. Look, I don't like... Well, you already got timed out. For what? For a positivity turtle? Look, not gonna lie, I think that was pretty shitty of you to mock Repzilla's story. So I think the time to time him out was then, not for the positivity turtle. But anyways, I think you're cringe. Okay, I don't like you. I never made any videos on you or whatever. That conversation was obviously a private conversation. I thought that when you went on Augie's live stream, I think he roasted you and owned you pretty damn well. So like, I don't even think I need to comment on that because it's like Augie said, it was just a private conversation. Good thing I never said anything about that publicly, huh? Never. It was really Big Money Onision that was trying to lead that on, and you know it too. But you also know that Big Money Onision is not a YouTuber and doesn't have any clout. Therefore, you of course want to capitalize on that. Like, if you were being honest, you were trying to make that live stream going over my private conversation because of my name. You're trying to make it seem like I was doing something sinister, which I wasn't. I was entertaining the conversation. I was like, oh, is this it? Okay, whoa. Hey, if that's true, you know, kind of thing. You would have done the same as about me, and you fucking know it because you literally did a live stream about my fucking private DMs. So don't try to like play moral ground here. Now that we're done with that, at least, you know, you can recognize that this hacker is antagonistic. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, all this hacker ever really wants is to see the world burn. The one thing that I think you and I can obviously agree on is that he wanted to antagonize you, and he succeeded. You played into his game just like Dirty's playing into his game. He's feeding Dirty everything. He fed Crow of Judgment his shit too. He's like, ooh, Crow of Judgment doesn't like Steven Asark. I'm gonna feed him these conversations. Ooh, they talked about RSN. Oh, let me get this to RSN. Ooh, Dirty. They talked about Shiloh. Let me get this to Dirty. That's exactly what he does. Darcy can try to be a tough guy and send out my private DMs to people, but in the end, it's fucking cringe. Okay, you can call me Ed Cringe as a liar or whatever, but what am I lying about? Person that's totally not Darcy. Why is Darcy pretending to be someone else on his own account? And if he's not someone else, why isn't he speaking up?
Yeah, I just played the clip. It seems to me that he believes that this Ed Cringe person is the same as Darcy, but I've spoken with Ed Cringe on camera. Never heard of Darcy. So I don't know, unless this person is, I don't know, operating two accounts.
You're not Darcy? Okay, that's cool. Well, in that case, I guess you won't mind me showing this. And you won't say who you are. But you're not related to Darcy, so I'm sure this doesn't matter to you. But this is a video that Ed Cringe has on his channel. This is totally not Darcy, guys. This is not the same person. I guess you won't mind that if I save this video, you know, just like you do to my shit. You won't mind, right? Wait a second. Ed Cringe. Hold on a second here. Bring Pooferson home. Hold on a second, guys. You mean to tell me somebody doxed Darcy before I did? Who is Jill's a problem? Organized by Darcy Evans? Uh-oh, we need to look at this, guys. This is serious. Darcy Evans had a GoFundMe in November 2019? Ed Cringe isn't Darcy? I mean, according to him, he's not Darcy. He just happens to type the same, and he just happens to have videos of Darcy on his channel. It's crazy, right? I was not aware there's even videos on here. Oh, okay, Deji. So your actual name is Darcy Stevens, correct?
No, sir.
That's Darcy Evans. Sorry, not Darcy Stevens. Darcy Evans.
So my name that everyone knows me by is Darcy Evans. I have other names that are legal and that I do not wish to disclose to.
Holy shit! Did you guys just catch that? Wait! Did you guys just catch that? Holy shit! Okay, this is the last thing. I think I gotta wrap it up for real. Did you guys just catch that? Darcy Evans isn't even his real legal name. Bro. How can he say that I doxed his legal name when he literally says it's not his legal name? Why did YouTube allow this shit, dude? You know the most annoying part about this is that YouTube is so inaccessible for support. Maybe this would have been one of those good times that it's good to have a Twitter, because I could be like, yo, YouTube, you're fucking up. You're taking down me and Tommy's stream for no fucking reason. His name is not even Darcy Evans. That's a fake name. It's not his legal name. He says it. Anyways. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Hey, not everybody does that. Now, I do have some good news sprinkled with some annoyingness. My comeback video was reinstated. YouTube was like, you know what? Upon further review, you're right, there's nothing wrong. And not less than a day later, Darcy once again filed another privacy complaint. And I'm seriously gonna go nuts if YouTube once again takes it down. Part of me is expecting him to try the same thing on this video, which would be really ironic because a good portion of this video is spent proving how I didn't dox him and the privacy claim he put on me is completely false. Anyways, thumbs up the video, and if you want to see the even longer version of this stream, you can become a member or join my Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys.